So I seen this pop up on my feed a couple days ago, and I thought I'd go ahead and do a report on it, man, because I gotta do this, man, because this means a lot to me. PlayStation 2, the most sold home game console in history. Pretty much, yeah, it done basically took the number one spot as the most number one sold game console in history. And when I came across this, man, I'm not gonna lie, man, I got the hairs of my neck stood up. I got chills down my spine from the adrenaline rush, from the nostalgia that I felt, man, because I remember when I first got my PlayStation 2, which I bought with my own money, which I don't know how the hell I got the money to pay for it at the time, but I remember I got it from the pawn shop. Who remember the pawn shops? But yeah, this around maybe like 06, 07. So the PlayStation 2 had already been out maybe like a couple years, but I had got my own. And that's a good feeling as a kid, man. You know, I walked out that pawn shop, skipping to my loot with my PS2 in my hand, man. Cradling that shit like a football. But yeah, man, it was a good feeling. But yeah, it says PS2 has now sold over 160 million units, making it the best-selling console of all fucking time. I mean, damn, because so many game systems that came out after the PlayStation 2, and there was, of course, game systems that came out before it. But, you know, PlayStation 2, it reigns, man. You know? But, so I'm going to go to the article. It says, Sony reveals PlayStation 2 is the highest selling console of all time. And like I just stated, it has sold over 160 million units worldwide, with the PS1 at 102 million. It done beat the PS1. You know, PS1 was, of course, the first of this series of PlayStations. And, of course, I played that as a youngin'. And, of course, a lot of you that grew up in the 90s or even before that, early 2000s, probably played PlayStation 1. Which was cool, you know what I'm saying? But it was very limited. See, when the PlayStation 2 came out, you was able to watch movies. It had a DVD player inside. That's what changed the game. Like, damn, you can watch movies, bootleg movies, all that shit, man. It was just more options with the PlayStation 2 at the time, man. It's alright. So the article goes on to say the PlayStation brand is celebrating its 30th anniversary on December 3rd, and Sony has revealed updated sales figures for its classic consoles in its celebration. A newly launched website for PlayStation history shows that the PS1 sold over 102 million units worldwide, with the PS2 surpassing it with over 160 million units sold. The new figures peg the PS2 as its highest selling home console in history, beating the Nintendo DS and Nintendo Switch for the top spot. So you see that, there it go. It beat the Nintendo DS and the Nintendo Switch. And the Nintendo DS was a big deal back then, for those who remember. I'm not gonna lie. All my siblings had one. I never had one personally. But I used to, you know, of course, I would borrow theirs and play it every now and then. Play the little Pokemon shit, which I never cared for back then. But once I tried it, I said, you know what, this ain't that bad. I played Pokemon and all the other games they had on the, you know. But yeah, Nintendo DS it went crazy back then. I'm not gonna lie, it was lit in that time. But yeah, it beat the Nintendo DS and Nintendo Switch for the top spot. So it goes on to say the last time Sony officially revealed the PS2 sales stats was over 10 years ago in 2011. Wow, it's been over 10 years. Damn, I was in high school at the time. And even in that time, the PlayStation 2 had already died out. You know, the PS3 had been out for some time, and you know, that was the thing. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, PS4 might have been out too, but I could be wrong. You know, don't knock me if I'm wrong. But I know PS3 was definitely out. But I gotta go back and see when the PS4 came out. But it says the PlayStation 2 was originally launched in Japan on March 4th, 2000, and its manufacturing was discontinued in 2013. The console enjoyed a prolonged lifespan of over 12 years, getting new releases late in its life cycle until the launch of the PS4. Okay, so when the PS4 came around, then the PS2 officially just died off, which is understandable, you know what I'm saying? This just means a lot, you know, like I said, personally, and a lot of you probably can relate at the time. And maybe you have a different console you have a more heartfelt connection with, but PS2 is a lot of memories, man. Playing Madden, playing that roller coaster game Triller. I think it was called Thriller. I think it was called Triller. You could build your roller coasters and shit. Playing Hitman, Spider-Man, Grand Theft Auto was a big part of, my childhood history. Fight for New York, Def Jam. Come on, man. Like, so many games I'm not even like remembering off the top. But especially Madden, man. Especially Madden. Me and my little brother, we play Madden. We'd be on the same teams. We'll just play practice game mode, man. And he'll be running back, I'll be full back. We'll take turns. You know what I'm saying? I'll block or whatever. He had the analog sticks. You push up. You know what I'm saying? Do the highlight stick and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just so much you could talk about. Or NFL Street. All that, man. And I've discussed this in some of my past YouTube live streams and stuff, man. And we just go down memory lane and talk about all the good games and, good movies and all that shit, man. But, this particularly is specifically about the PS2 right here. So basically it's saying when the PS4 came around, PlayStation 2 pretty much died off, which is understandable. So the PS2 success relied on a steady delivery of high quality titles like God of War, Shadow of the Colossus, Ico, Ratchet and Clank, Killzone, and more. Its second killer feature was full backward compatibility support for the original PlayStation. It was also the first console with the built-in DVD player. See, yep. Come on, man. Like, that was a big deal back then. People don't really use DVD players no more. I don't know. I don't think so. But DVD players, like, of course you had the regular DVD player, but now you got a game system that you could put your movie disc in and play it. Come on, man. But so it says, yep, the first console with a built-in DVD player, making it a cheap entry point for home media enthusiasts. The Sony website has also revealed sales stats for its successors, the PS3, PS4, and PS5. The PS3 has sold over 87 million units worldwide, while the PS4 is the fifth best-selling console at 117 million units sold. PlayStation 5, Sony's current generation console, has sold 65.6 million units, more than double the combined sales of Microsoft Xbox Series X consoles. Damn, so they trying to say PlayStation whooping Xbox ass. Damn! Now, with me personally, growing up with my mom, I had a split family, so growing up with my mom, stepdad over there, my siblings over there, we had Xbox over there. That was Xbox, so I know a lot about Xbox. Xbox is definitely a big part of my childhood. It's just, when I talk about the PlayStation 2 and all that, that's when I go visit over to my dad, my real dad, for the weekends, you know what I'm saying? And that was the bond that I had with the PlayStation type shit, but yeah, man, so I probably mainly play Xbox overall, but I connect them more with the PlayStation 2, I'm not gonna lie. But I still got love for the Xbox, man. I love the Xbox 360, man, you know what I'm saying? But they're saying here, man, pretty much PlayStation overall is just whooping Xbox ass. That's what I'm taking from it. But anyways, it goes on to say there's a good chance that the upcoming successor of the Nintendo Switch will give the PS2 some stiff competition. The new console will be backward compatible with the original Switch, so it remains to be seen how well Nintendo will compete with Sony for the top spot in the market. So they got a little competition going on here. All right. So to celebrate its 30th anniversary, Sony is also selling limited edition PS1 themed PS5 consoles and accessories. Following the release of the PS5 Pro, Sony has a long way to go if it wants to beat its record in the current generation of home console sales. Man, so that's the end of the article, man. And it's just crazy, man. I thought I just had to do a little report on this. Yeah, and just talking about PlayStation, like I never even had the PSP. Remember the handheld portable? It's like a handheld PlayStation in your hand. Really, a PlayStation 2 in your hand. I never even had a PSP. Like when I go to after school or whatever, my friend had a PSP. Him and his brother had a PSP, and I watched them playing stuff. But I never had a PSP back then, man. That's one thing I will say. But like I said, man, I give props to all the game consoles, man. Nintendo. The Wii came out. That was a game changer. That came out around 05, 06 for real. Like I said, Xbox, big history with Xbox. Playing Tom Clancy games, the Ghost Recons, the Call of Duties. Call of Duty was big. Halo pretty much saved Xbox in like 04, 05. Man, Halo, man. So many memories on Halo. NFL Street, you know, NFL Tour, you know what I'm saying? Of course, you had the car racing games. My brother was more into the car racing games. You know, the fighting games, all that shit, man. I mean, we can go down a long list of all the classic games. But yeah, man, hit subscribe, like the video, man. But this is a video about pretty much a tribute for PS2, man, PlayStation 2. You know. But yeah, so that's the article that they posted about Sony's PlayStation 2, man, saying it's the highest selling game console of all time. That's crazy, man. And it's been a long time since I played PlayStation 2. I wouldn't mind going and buying another one. I don't know if they're still in stores. I mean, they probably gotta be. Maybe you gotta buy them online, but I wouldn't mind, you know, copping one right now and playing the old classics, all the throwbacks and all that. Yeah, man. And I'm clicking on Reddit right now. I'm gonna just go through some of these comments, man. So someone put a list of the highest selling consoles from 1 to 10. So starting at number 1, of course, PlayStation 2. Then you got the DS, Nintendo DS. Then you got the Nintendo Switch. Then the Game Boy. Oh, Game Boy was crazy, man. Who had the mini Game Boy back then? You had the Game Boy, then you had the mini Game Boy. That shit was fire. I'm not gonna lie. PlayStation 4 at number 5 after Game Boy. PlayStation 1 at number 6. The Nintendo Wii went crazy. That's at number 7. PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and then you got the Game Boy Advance at number 10. That's crazy, man. PlayStation 2 really like sitting on the top. It's on the throne right now. That's crazy. But they're saying once the new Nintendo Switch come out, the new version of it, then that might give PlayStation 2 a run for its money. But yeah, man, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, man. I might do a part 2 about this later on. But I just had to make a video on this, man. Tell me your thoughts. Let me know how this resonates with you. Was you more of a PlayStation person or Xbox? You know what I'm saying? So where do you sit with this? Anyways, this your boy Interest, and I'm out.